Welcome, this is Pineleaf Needles, Skirmisher Middle-earth. I have now hit level 30, which means that it's time to run Thievery and Mischief. But before we're ready to do that, let's do a little bit of shopping. Now I have several reputation coins left from the Men of Bree, and there happens to be several items that require you to be at least level 30 before you get them.
Greetings.
Let's see if any of them will be of use to me. Let's see, reputation items. Here's one, a helmet. Obviously we don't want the light one, we'd want the medium one. Plus 5 will, plus 9 vitality. I think I'll use this Mammoth Hunter's helmet and keep using that. This cloak is 169. Plus 5 agility, plus 5 might, plus 5 maximum morale, 55 maximum morale. Oh, this is a sweet one. That's a nice one. It's especially sweet since we're still during the grace period where warrens are double dipping a little bit. Let's see, and this wrist, agility and will. And return debris I already have.
Hello there.
Alright, so it looks like the only thing I got out of that was a new cloak. So now it's time to go to the skirmish camp. And the skirmish camp will hopefully have a few extra things also. I might as well use these running boots. They're not exactly the most useful item. But if I don't want to run to a skirmish with forced march on and find out, oh my goodness gracious, I've used up all my power. Alright, now let's see. Alright, let's skip cosmetics for now. So with my skirmish soldier, yeah, no new cosmetics. So I have a little extra training to do, and it's time to do more training, so we'll add something there. Crafting. Classic.
What do you need?
Let's see if there's anything here. Probably not much here yet. I mean, we do have the Great Barrows set. That's a 25 item. And it looks like I did already buy a couple of items there for that. I wasn't interested enough in it then. And I think most of the other stuff will require a few more levels before we're ready to get it. Curiosities, provisions. Oh, here's the trainer.
How may I help you?
Let's see, we want an archer skill, distracting shot or pinpoint shot. Well, we will want to bump up pinpoint shot. Actually want to train up archer also. Well, let's get a new one. So check off the only display earned trait so we could see all 4 traits. No, I don't want to use refocus. Instead, let's use deadly shot. So we'll train that 4 times. And that'll give us a nice bit there. Then for training, we'll just turn that back on. Medium armor. And is that it for the moment? Oh! It was a new training, not a new skill. Alright, that was my bad. Well, then I'll just bring up this practiced critical. And I'll just train that up a little bit. Well, it looks like I've trained it up a little bit too much. And personal, put up the armored assault. Now I get my next skill at level 31. So when I hit level 31, I'll equip that skill that I prematurely purchased.
Greetings.
And we'll go into training, practiced critical, confirm. Like a bard, that turns everything off on you. Here's some medium
Greetings.
armor. Let's see if he has any upgrades here. Probably not many. That'll be for level 30. First of all, the shield is 390 plus 9 might. Better defenses, not as good on the agility and vitality side, but the protection might be worth it. Just because it's during the grace period. If it weren't during the grace period, I would think the shield wouldn't be worth all that much. But since might is still useful to award, and I should be able to get a better one well before the grace period ends. Alright, here's our shoulders. Now I'm going to be losing a little bit of agility here. Now the might's going to compensate for it. I'm going to lose a little bit of vitality. That's an iffy one. I don't think it's worth upgrading there. And here we have some boots. 10 agility for... I think I like the boots. So we'll barter for the boots. Not that you see them when I'm playing a hobbit. And the rest of them are unlikely to be because... Right, because I just bought that one. The gloves. Ooh, the gloves are actually an upgrade. That's a significant enough upgrade that I'll do it even though they're the low grade ones. And the shirt, I've already got the barrels ones for that. Very well. See what we have on weapons. Now this is the skirmish camp at Bury, of course. So you can find skirmish camps all throughout Middle-earth. Let's see, how's the javelin doing? We finally beat out the javelin that I got at level 20. At least damage-wise, and it does ancient dwarf make damage instead of common. Now it has a nice critical rating. I lose my minus 3% on skill inductions, and I lose my ability to bump my agility by 18. Now I'm going to be doing Thievery and Mischief. And Ancient Dwarf damage, that is most useful against things like trolls and drakes. And I'm not going to be fighting too many of these in Thievery and Mischief, so I'll hold back on that one. And do I have any spears? No spears, but I just got a new spear from completing a class quest, so I'm not even going to bother checking the other ones. Light armor, jewelry.
Of what help may I be to you?
Okay, the cloak, well, I just got myself a new cloak, so I didn't expect that to be an upgrade. This one is might and agility. Well, it bumps up the agility quite well, but at the sacrifice of some vitality. Let us see how we do in the skirmishes before I decide which one would be more useful there. Now here... Ooh. it looks like an upgrade on both sides, so I am going to buy 2 of them. And we'll put the other one in. There you go, give a nice pair. And the bauble. Well, I don't think I'm going to worry too much about the bauble in any case, since I'm going to be turning off experience soon, and when I do that, obviously the bauble will no longer be any good since it will be just sitting in my inventory. No, I think that's enough. Let's now go and defend Bree. That will bring up Thievery and Mischief, a new offensive skirmish with a minimum level of 30, and the first of 2 that are set in the town of Bree, though you'll see that when we run the skirmish, it'll be a little cold. Alright, let's see how we do at Tier 3.
While war raged in the south and the rangers of the north were absent, brigands and ruffians took an opportunity to wrest control of Bree.
Now, Bree has a rather average mob density. And it's certainly the first one in which I would try at Tier 3. And the very first Tier 3 I ever completed was Thievery and Mischief. Oh, I am getting clobbered here. You can see it's no longer a walk in the park like it was in some of the earlier levels. In a recent article I wrote, I said that at level 20, the opponent seemed to be made of paper. Then at level 30, cardboard, but it's a much thicker cardboard when you're running at Tier 3. So I don't think this is going to be a trivial run. Now, while I could face them here, I normally drop back so I could assess the situation, especially if I'm a little low in morale like I am right now. Let me pump that up. It looks like I'm going to use a little vitality here. Yes, I'm going to pump up the vitality. Have a little soup here. I've been ignoring the food in a number of skirmishes, but looks like running this at Tier 3 at this level, I'm not as well equipped as I was at level 20. Simply because I'm still using the same javelin I used at level 20. So that tells you. Now, why am I fighting the Shepherd of Filth by doing that? I don't know. That is not how to survive a Shepherd of Filth. Yeah. Right. New deed, Enmity of the Goblins. That one you get when you kill your first goblin after reaching level 29. Or at least if you're a hobbit. Some races get their version of Enmity of the Goblins a lot earlier than that. And this is for Hobbit Stealth, which may occasionally be useful, though usually as a warden I only need stealth for short durations, in which case Careful Step is better. But if I need stealth for more than the however long it lasts, it doesn't say on the bar how long Careful Step lasts. It just says short periods of time. Well, however long it lasts, most of the cases where I need stealth as a warden, that's enough. And that's at full level while Hobbit Silence, there's a penalty to your stealth when you use it. Right. Actually, let's drop back and take this guy alone, though. We could probably handle the entire group. But you know by now that can be a little bit on the conservative side. Especially after what happened at the front gate. Actually, strangely enough, the front gate seems to be one of the tougher areas I have in this skirmish. I don't understand why. It's not a particularly challenging area. It just has a small group with the small group counterattacking afterwards. While this area right here includes full three groups of enemies, and therefore you're fighting a large number at a time if you wind up pulling everyone. Now you only get one lieutenant despite there being 3 groups, so it's not as bad as in the courtyard in Trouble in Tuckborough, where you could wind up fighting 2 lieutenants at a time if you make a very bad pull. Now, since the groups here are smaller than in Tuckborough, though, the 3 groups you face here would actually be the same size as the 2 groups in Tuckborough, at least in solo. In larger group runs, the courtyard in Tuckborough will be more. So this is the toughest area to clear. So you have to be careful unless you really like to go on several at a time. I wouldn't recommend that for tier 3. Now, if I wanted to, I could have dropped back over down there. I'll show you for the second counterattack. With the Warden, though, I usually just face them at the auction hall, which is where they run. I'll show you with the second counterattack what I mean about falling back. So let us go back down here. And if we go here, the enemy won't see us. So of course, it will make the skirmish go longer. But when I play a softer class than the Warden, I often will... Hello? Now I've got his attention. Actually, let's take the weaker guy out first. I certainly got plenty of food. Alright, that takes care of the counterattack. That's the only double counterattack in this skirmish. Now, here is an encounter. We have a few of them that like to come out of doors, like this one. So you want a fight? Yeah, okay, I guess I'll give you a fight. Oh, can't even get started there. Alright. So far I've had to pop 1 potion. Of course, as I said, that was at the front gate. And though you would think it would be the easiest area, it always gives me trouble. And you'll see that some of these encounter mobs will run away. The brigand types would. There's another one that you'll meet later on outside the jail. Now this skirmish still uses the old layout of Bree. And strangely enough, it still goes through the way in which the newly opened area is, because the enemy has broken down a gate down there. If they had created this skirmish with after the new Bree was made, then the wall wouldn't have been breached by the enemy like that. And let's go. Let's see. Can I get that guy? Yeah, out. Yeah, that was useless. Well, my archer came pretty close to sowing a Shepherd of Filth at tier 3. Maybe she would have actually defeated it at tier 2. That's not too bad considering... how is my training right now? Oh, rank 4, about... I guess it is suitable for up to level 33, so it's not too bad. It was good I did put in that little extra training. Alright. And this should clear out this area, which it does. Now for this one, I do like to fall back. Because of the way it spawns in, the way the enemy spawns in, I like to be able to see what I'm fighting beforehand. So, just feels more natural coming in through this way. So when I'm in group runs, usually the rest of the group doesn't follow my opinion on that matter, so in those cases, we do the fight right at the gate. Alright, looks like Flax is... Okay, this... Actually... she could have handled it. Alright, that takes care of that. So we go through this area. As I said, in the new Bree, there's a real opening here instead of this bash through the wall look you've got here. An Echo of Death. Oh, that should be fun. How am I doing with my food? I think I'll have another pie here. Very well. Well, that wasn't good. Echoes, I think it's time I bump up my agility with that. I mean, that is the reason I'm using that after all. Now, the question is whether or not I should go after the Echo. Uh-oh. No, that was a bad decision. with flax on the archer, then I was going to go after the echo and just let flax solo it, but when that wolf came in, that changed the equation a little bit. You have this death echo here, which would increase the damage from melee and ranged attackers, and it won't affect the Echo of Death, who does tactical damage, but just about anything else you face in this skirmish would get that bonus. So actually, let me wait till Death's Echo wears out. Alright, now I can go after the wolf. And that's why your soldiers won't attack the Echo of Death without orders. Right, one more. Did I miss? Oh, it's right next to it. It's Blind Hobbit Day! But this does say, though, that my using Tier 3 as a baseline is not a particularly good idea anymore. Being able to do that so easily was a fluke of being at low level and having equipment that was a little bit above par there. I don't think I'll have that too much more. But at least I'm able to survive this one. But as I said, Thievery and Mischief is the first skirmish where I successfully survived a Tier 3. And the reason is because Thievery and Mischief I think of as a baseline skirmish. What I mean by that is that it is straightforward. It has the standard mob density. It doesn't have any major gimmicks in it. And therefore, it should be the easiest one. Okay, there are a couple of them with very light mob densities. But it has fairly straightforward mobs, fairly straightforward number of enemies. Therefore, it's usually the first one which you could be able to do well. Therefore, whenever I want to test out an offensive on an offensive skirmish, the first place where I'll try it is Thievery and Mischief, despite the fact that I have this rather unusual affinity for doing poorly at that front gate. There we go. And this is the other one that runs away. See, they both come out of doors. And they're both brigands. Now, in this skirmish, not all of them are brigands. You have two that are brigands, which we saw both of them here. We have a couple of half-orcs, a couple of animals, a goblin. So we have a few more than you would have in Trouble in Tuckborough. Alright, now this is where I'm going to have to go eventually, but I usually save that place for last. Clear out everything else before I go after the lieutenant. Now this skirmish also has a nice selection of lieutenants. In fact, there's only one lieutenant you cannot get in this skirmish, and that is the lizard that appears in any of the group sizes. Any of the duo or higher group sizes. It won't appear in solo. The Flesh Gorger. And that one, the Flesh Gorger, only appears in a few skirmishes. Siege of Gondaman, Fort of Bruin, and Rescue at Nurse Gashu. Alright, we got rid of him. This is all cleared. Now for the boss fight. Now I told you that there are no complications in Thievery and Mischief. I meant getting to the boss fight. And in solo runs, the boss fight is very straightforward. One boss throws down a war banner occasionally, whoop-de-doo. It's when you're in group runs where things get a little bit tougher. And this is Matt Heathertoes here, and the boss is going to kill poor Matt Heathertoes, which is real mean of him. He's already also killed another man plus a hobbit before. Now I want to keep Flax on the other side because he can very easily kill your soldier if your soldier is... And that war banner gives him a bonus to damage, which is why I'm getting rid of it. But I usually try to keep my soldier out of range of him and on the other side so that she won't take any damage. He does do area attacks. But you can see this is a fairly straightforward fight in solo. When I show you in a group though, you'll see that you'll be facing more of them. You face an extra one, you'll face 2 opponents in duo and small fellowship. You'll face 3 enemies in a full fellowship and 4 in a raid. Which can make this a bit of a challenging fight in a raid. This fight is the most challenging part of this skirmish when you're running in larger groups. And you don't have people around like me who can't get through the front gate. But that is Thievery and Mischief, and Bree is saved, so I guess that means I can go back into the town now. Oh, nice, the snow has melted. Until next time, this is Pineleaf Needles. May your shield protect you, and your spear never break.